لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أوصيكم عباد الله وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله. I encourage myself and all of us to be God aware, to be conscious and mindful of God. Indeed, the Quran, when talking about the Day of Judgment, has many a verse that talks about it. One of them that beautifully depicts it is that on that day, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ, nothing will avail you on that day. Nothing. Neither your wealth, neither your children, neither your fame, nothing that you have amassed in this world will avail you on that day. Except إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, except one who comes to God with a heart at ease, a heart that is tranquil, a heart that has fully submitted to the will of God. How do we achieve this heart? We go through life and our heart is wavering from here to there and full of stress and anxiousness and everything else that may be in between. How do we come to God with that heart full of ease, the tranquility within ourselves? Indeed, Allah talks in many a verse about Himself, and this heart is a vessel to capture Himself. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. He is the light. And in this beautiful verse, Allah gives this example of this light. And you can refer to it at your own time in Surah An-Nur, verse 35. But then he continues. He says, Nurun ala nur. There's light upon light. And Allah guides this light to whomsoever He wills. How do we become receptacles of this light? That we can go on the day of judgment and have that heart full of ease, a heart at peace, at tranquility. How do we achieve this? We look at other verses talking about God, about Allah. And indeed in Hadith Qudsi it also talks about this heart. That nothing can capture me, neither the heavens or the earth, except the heart. So really there's something about this heart that we need to focus on. That our heart is fully preoccupied with all sorts of things. Things that aren't relevant to me, things that are causing me stress, things that aren't beneficial to me. But if you focus on the receptacle of this light, where we're getting this light from, which is God, which is Allah, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى, and for Allah is the most beautiful names. Call out to Him by these beautiful names. But it continues further, وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ, and worship your Lord until you reach that certainty, and call out to Him, worship Him until you have certainty. And in other interpretations, yaqeen is death. But nonetheless, the emphasis is there on having that connection of calling out to God, of being subservient to God, of breaking these idols within myself and calling out and having that oneness with God. Worship your Lord until certainty comes to you. Hu Allah, He is Allah. La ilaha illahu, there is no God but Him. Alimul ghaybi wa shahada, He knows the hidden and what is manifest. Huwa ar-Rahmanur Rahim, He is Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. He is that ever-flowing mercy. And indeed in other places of the Quran, talks about what Allah has and what He knows. وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِيهُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُ, and He has the keys of the unseen. No one knows them except Him. And He knows what is in the land and in what is in the sea. He knows the grain that is growing up, as the verse continues, وَلَا حَبَّةٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْأَرْضِ وَلَا رَطْبٍ وَلَا يَابِسٍ, that there isn't a grain, that there isn't something that is damp or something that is dry, illa fi kitabim mubin, except that it is in a very manifest book. If we were to face the world with this perspective, that He knows everything, that He has power over everything, that He has full control over everything, that I need to have certainty that He has that. I need to ask myself, do I have certainty that He has full power? And if I don't, I ask Allah, oh Allah, give me that certainty. Make me in a situation. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. He has the best names. Call out to Him. However you want to call out to Him. You want to shout out to Him. You want to whisper to Him. You want to cry out to Him. Call out and ask Him, give me that certainty. When Yusuf alayhi salam is taken, is thrown into the well, and in that situation of darkness, what are the odds of him surviving in this desert well? What are the odds of him becoming someone who has a position of power who can get revenge? Nearly zero. But as he is sold into slavery, the Quran mentions, Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. Allah has full power over His affairs, every single moment. Allah has full power over all of our affairs. We just need to have that conviction, that certainty that He has that. Imagine if Yusuf was stressing and saying, oh, what will happen? Filling his life with stress. Many a time we fill our lives with stress because we don't have certainty. We have to have certainty and have full trust in God that He has full power over everything and over my affairs. Yusuf is sold as a slave. And Allah says, وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And that's how we established this slave that is sold. We established him on the land. And you'd think that He's established him and he's gone, he's completed. His story is finished. But no, the Quran continues with this story. He's thrown into the prison and all these things happen. He comes out of prison. The Quran repeats this. وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And likewise, we establish Yusuf on this earth. He had to go through these phases for him to realize himself. He refines himself. And we all have these things that we need to refine, that we need to look within. And every one of ours is different to each other. I may have something that you may not have. Ultimately, all this refinement is so that we have certainty in Him. فَاعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ وَاعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. And worship your Lord until that certainty comes to you, that you have full conviction that He has power over everything, that I need to just go with the flow. I just need to trust Him. I will do my best, but I just need to trust Him. I will put my 100%, but ultimately it's in Allah's hand. And have that conviction. Inna ma'al usri yusra, that with difficulty is ease, not after difficulty. Whilst difficulty is going on in that process of pain and suffering or whatever it may be, in that process, there is ease. We need to see it. And there may be times where our hearts are constricted, where we feel really tight, but call out to Allah. Rabbi, as Musa alayhi salam is in that situation, he calls out and he says, Rabbi shrah li sadri. Allah, expand my chest. I'm in a situation where I'm feeling very constricted. I'm very stressed. I don't know what to do. I'm anxious. Rabbi shrah li sadri. And I'm in a difficult situation. وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي. And I may have impediments and I'm weak in certain things. وَحْلُلْ أُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي. Call out to Allah. Oh Allah, expand my chest. Make easy my affair. And in Musa's situation, untie the knot so that people can understand me. Each and every one of us has their own situation, their own test. And if we think that we are perfect or we have worked on ourselves enough, there still is something to work on. So the Quran mentions, says, whoever Allah wants to guide, He will expand his chest to Islam. He will expand his chest to that full submission. And we need to look within ourselves and find what is it we stress about so much in this world, about things that may or may not happen. I don't know if I have enough in my account, or I don't know if I'm going to be successful in this, or I don't know if this will go through, or whatever it may be. That's a lack of conviction in what Allah has planned. I should have full trust. I will do my best. But I will have full trust that Allah will do whatever is best for me. And in that situation, that even I have a lack or have nothing, maybe that is the best for me. And I have to have full conviction and trust in Allah that that is the best for me. And once I reach that, that's what God is alluding to. We become these vessels. We ask Allah to open our chests to become these vessels where His light flows through us. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihat wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa bihi nasta'in. أوصيكم عباد الله وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله. I exhort myself and I exhort all of you to be God conscious, for that is a strong fortress. Indeed, in God consciousness, in being aware of God, that we're certain that God has planned everything what is best for us. And until we adopt that mindset, we'll be fighting. We'll be thinking that I need to do something, or I need to be something, or I need to be somewhere. But if you trust the plan of God, you do your best, and you trust the plan of God, He will open up the doors. The opposite of this is somebody who's reactive, who's being swayed by the situation around them. That this happens and I'm going to react. This news comes and it influences me in this way and I'm going to react. This situation happens, I'm going to react. I don't have this, or it's not going in this way, I'm going to react in whatever way it may be. I may stress about it. I may not do something physically about it, but I'm stressing about it internally. It's causing me turmoil, and physically it's causing me illness. Have certainty in what Allah has planned. Musa alayhi salam comes to the sea with Bani Israel, and the people are shouting, قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ, that we have been caught. There's nothing we can do. A reactive mindset. We've been caught. Let's give up. Musa answers beautifully. He says, Inna Rabbi Ma'aya Sayahdeen. That my Lord is with me. He will guide me. Have conviction even in that situation where it seems impossible. Have conviction in Allah. Have trust that it will work out. Ibrahim alayhi salam, and we see this time and time again. But these people who came to the sea, were saved from the sea, they come to the other side. The Quran says, فَاتَّخَذُوا عِجْلًا جَسَدًا لَهُ خُوَارٍ. They started worshipping a cow which had a noise. And I look at myself and I look in my life and think of situations where Allah has done amazing things that I thought is not going to happen. But then sometimes I believe that Allah has power of everything. And I know that Allah has saved me in this situation. But yet I go back to what I used to do. And I ask myself, is this happening to me? In the story of Bani Israel, this is happening. They've crossed the impossible. They've been freed from Pharaoh. Yet they take a calf and worship it. And this is something for us to reflect upon, that in life we are faced with situation. It's only in that difficult situation that we realize our potential and what God is and all His power. And when we come out of that situation, do we forget God? This is something for us to reflect upon. They took a calf and they started worshipping God. But remember, when they used to come to the Prophet and they used to say that this is only happening because of your own actions, قُلْ, the Prophet is being told by Allah, قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبُنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا, that nothing will afflict us except what Allah has written for us. Imagine going to life with this mindset, that nothing will come my way except what Allah has written for me. Doesn't mean I'm not being proactive about it. I'm doing my best, but it's not happening in this way. Nothing will happen except that Allah has written it for us. Huwa Maulana. He is our master. He has control over all our affairs. Wa ala Allahi فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Then upon Allah the believers should place their trust. They should have full trust that this is how Allah has made it, and we have trust in it. Dawood alayhi salam is there with his army in front of Goliath, Jalut. Big person, huge army. They're a small army. Says they call out to Allah. Remember, we said call out to Allah. Sometimes I waver in my conviction. I don't know if I'm going to go through this situation. Call out to Allah. Walillahi al-asma'ul husna. He has the most beautiful name. Call out to Him. Oh Allah, I don't have the conviction. Give me that conviction that this is the best for me and that I can go through it. Dawood alayhi salam is there with his small army. Indeed, this is the dua that the Prophet and his companions recited in the Battle of Badr. Rabbana afrigh alayna sabran. O Allah, pour upon us your patience. Pour upon us patience. وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا. And strengthen our steps. Make our feet firm. وَانْصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ. And help us against these people who are disobeying. Call out to Him in these difficult situations and in situations of ease. Just call out. Know that He is there. Wallahu ghalibun ala amrihi. In Yusuf's story, when it seemed impossible, Allah says He had full control over entire affairs of Yusuf. And indeed, Allah has full control over every single breath that we have. Have full trust and full conviction in whatever happens is the best. But we must see Allah in that light. We must look at Allah through that lens. Our hearts are like a body of water. When it's calm, you can see the light going through it. When it's in a mess, when there's lots of movement, all the mud is coming up. The light is prevented. In my heart, there's all this stress and all this anxiety and all these things that are stemming from a lack of conviction in Allah. They're stemming from a lack of certainty that He knows what's best for me. Have trust in Him and have full conviction in Him, and He will open up the doors. As the Quran mentions in many instances about this mindset, when Ibrahim is thrown into the fire, they were agitated. He had, broken their egos. Wansur alihatana, save our lords, harriquhu, burn him. But in that situation, he was calm. It was a difficult situation. He had full trust and conviction. Could he do anything? Could he stress? It's like when we go to the dentist. We need to go to the dentist. But that's a very scary situation. Am I going to stress in that moment, or am I just going to accept and say, it is what it is? Or when we go through these, these rides, the scary rides, it's scary. Am I going to stress and be scared, or just enjoy it? It's up to us how we take it. And indeed, it boils down to knowing God and realizing who God is. In Dua Arafah, Imam Hussein beautifully talks about God. He says, who is he who has lost you? What has he found, he who has lost you? And what has he lost, he who has found you? Knowing that intimacy with God, having that intimacy, calling out to God. Indeed, in today's situation in the world, we see unnecessary wars being fought out in different parts of the world, genocides happening throughout the world, in Palestine, and wherever it may be. People are being killed for what? For egos, for power, for fame, for gold, for oil, for all these things. How are we being proactive as opposed to reactive? Do we need thousands of children to be killed that we actually make a stance? What are we doing proactively? And this is something we need to ask ourselves. And the news is another thing that comes out. It influences, it makes us think in a certain way, it makes us reactive. Are we being reactive to these situations? Are we being proactive? Are we saying there may be another element to this? And indeed, in all of this, that can't be emphasized more is calling out to God. Call out to God, supplicate to God. He is nearer than your jugular vein. Call out to Him in every situation, for your own self, for others. for what is happening in the world, for what is happening within my world. Call out to Him. He has the best names. We ask Allah to help all those who are suffering throughout the world, to elevate and ease their situations. We ask Allah to wake us up, to be these vessels, to have within us this full conviction that He knows what's best for us, and to have full trust in Him. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على محمد المصطفى وعلى علي المرتضى وعلى فاطمة الزهراء وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وعلى أئمة المسلمين. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. تابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات، إنك مجيب الدعوات، إنك قاضي الحاجات، إنك على كل شيء قدير.